don't get yourselves or any of us canceled. That's like the only rules here. So like he's gonna try to do an intro. You guys can talk the entire time, just like this. Like what's he gonna do to me? It's fine. It's no big deal. There's no rules here.
All right, guys. Welcome to the CrossFit Pro Show. As you can see, today we have the casting crew of Voorhess and Masquerade. Our last show we talked about having the crew on, the casting crew on. So we kind of gave everybody an assignment to go watch the shows, and then come back today and make share their comments and questions with you guys. So this is a first for us, man. We've never had this many people. We have a party going on today, so it's awesome, right? And so first of all, thank all of you guys for being on the show. I mean, it's awesome to have a whole cast and crew of people from a movie come on and be able to share their experience and give us a chance to get to know all you guys. So thank you guys for taking your day out and coming and hanging out with Pro and I. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Olivia, because if you haven't seen Olivia, her interview on CrossFit Productions, you've got to go see it. An amazing, she has such an amazing journey, and so definitely go see that. And then from there, that's how I got to meet this entire crew. So I'm pretty excited. So.
Thank you. Yeah, listen, I wanted you to know that was the best interview I've ever had. And I immediately, I think, told Will and Jason, I was just like, we have to get everyone on here because it was just so authentic and genuine, and I enjoyed it. So I'm so happy all my friends are here.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It was a lot of fun to do too. So awesome. And I'm glad your friends are here. So now we get to meet a whole group of people. So yeah, so thank you guys. So all right, so let's jump into it. So there it is, Jason.
Yes.
Jason is the director and producer. So I'll let you introduce Voorhess and then kind of introduce everybody.
All right. So we're going to start with Voorhess. Okay. Everybody here worked on Voorhess. There's some people here that did not work on Masquerade, but I'll just go around. We have Kelly Lane. Kelly Lane played Jill in Voorhess, and just like this kind of badass Tomb Raider type character. Laura Croft, Bigfoot Hunter, fantastic. She did an amazing job. And then to my right is James Stokes. James played Jason Voorhess in both of the Voorhess films that we did, and he was an executive producer on both of them as well. And then below you guys is CJ. CJ Graham played Cretan Duke. He's one of the two characters that I pulled from other installments of the Friday the 13th franchise. Cretan Duke obviously was in Jason Goes to Hell, and CJ took the mantle and ran with it and created something special with it. And next to CJ is Charlie Brady. Charlie is the director of photography on both Voorhess movies and Masquerade.
Okay, cool.
Amazing creative partner to collaborate with. And then next to Charlie is Olivia. You guys know her. Star in both Masquerade and Voorhess. Played Chrissy in Masquerade and Chrissy in Voorhess and Sylvia in Masquerade. Next to Olivia is Will Reed. Will played Mark in Voorhess, Night of the Beast, and he also edited both of the Voorhess films.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that is the team.
Awesome. Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome. So, we're trying to figure this. I want to talk to each of you guys. So,
Hold on, I have a question. I got part.
Yeah.
I'm moderator of the year. All
Go
right,
ahead,
so
go ahead.
you guys have done 2 Jason fan films, and James, you not only did you do it, you've gotten the stamp of approval from previous, people who've played Jason. So where would you guys? We'll start with James, but collectively, if you guys could put your imprint on the next box office installment of Jason, where would you guys like to see the franchise go on a whole scale? Because it really does take like a fan film to me, like everybody can go to the movie and be like, man, I wish they just could have done this. So what would you guys like to see on the big screen if someone was like, hey, you guys really knocked Jason out of the park, we're gonna let you run with it?
Ooh, I mean that's a very good question, because as far as the franchise goes, as far as the actual Friday the 13th franchise goes, it'd be hard to see where they would take that. What we do as a fan film, we can take bits and pieces like Jason did. He took bits and pieces of different films and put them together and collectively made a totally different movie out of it, which was freaking amazing. The writing that man has is just absolutely phenomenal. And it's just, as far as a franchise goes, is taking it back to the big screen, you're almost going to have to rebirth Jason. I mean, it's been gone for a long time. As far as the actual franchise, you're going to have to almost rebirth Jason and have the character come back as it. I mean, do you start from the end where it ended, or do you? I don't know. That's a good question. That's going to be hard to answer. Jason may have some more input on that, but as far as I go, as far as playing the character and looking and watching all the movies back, I don't know where they would start a new franchise, where they would start it, whether it started over or started from where it ended. I don't know. Jason, what do you think?
Yeah. If I had control of the actual franchise and wasn't doing, like, we do have a third fan film idea, that if the opportunity presents itself, we can go that direction.
Right.
But that wasn't really your question, was it? It was like, because it's
Well,
two
I
different
mean,
fan film and having the rights to it and like studio film, it's 2 different things.
I mean, a fan film. So like so like you're gonna be limited by like a budget, I guess, would almost be the difference. Where like if it was gonna be studio, you have the horror.
You also have
going to be lesser than like Marvel, obviously, but I guess that's almost the biggest difference.
You also have a lot more control with fan films. Like if I have a studio backing me, there's stuff that I might want to do that they say, no, you can't do that.
Absolutely.
Now there's like at the end of Voorhess After the Beast, there's a post-credit scene that gives a big hint on where we are going with it if the opportunity presents itself for a third one. But if I had control of the franchise, I think what they're doing is really interesting. They're rebooting the series with a Hulu original series, Crystal Lake, focusing more on Pamela Voorhees. There's 40 years of story in the timeline that we've never seen. We've just seen like little bits and pieces here and there, like 1957, maybe even a little bit before with Pamela's mental illness. Wherever that starts has never been explored. And then from there all the way to Jason X, there's so much there that could be explored if somebody's creative enough. So I mean, there's huge opportunities with the franchise still, I think.
You mentioned Jason X. I would do a lot to just have more kills where he like freezes a person's face and then back. I don't know why. Like that movie's not one of the more revered Jason movies, but like I don't know, man. That kill just always stuck with me for some reason. When he froze that girl's face and smashed it, I just burned in my head. That and when he puts him in the sleeping bag and he starts beating him, that movie. But that one always got me too.
Yeah, the frozen face kill is always in like the top 5 kills.
Yep, that's. Anyone else? And if no one else wants to weigh in, it's all good completely. We can fire off another question, but if anyone has an input, by all means. Said no rules here.
I don't know. Jason didn't elaborate on his idea, but his idea is what I think he and I would want if they did another Jason movie.
I don't want to like reveal it.
I know,
No,
but it's like I know your answer, so it's like, okay, then we won't. But yeah, I guess just
So
just
you're saying you guys
hang
have
out, but just be creative. We just want them to be creative and not have to do the same thing again.
It's nice that the horror industry hasn't completely, because like with Jason, where do you go with that? Do you reboot? Do you try to make new story? It would be very easy probably to do all sorts of crossovers and the horror cinematic universe. So like I guess it's a really good thing they haven't done that. Like if Freddy vs. Jason didn't exist right now, we might be on Freddy vs. Jason 3 if they did the first one last year, like type of thing. So I guess it's where do you go, but they're not being lazy, so that's good.
Right.
We're trying.
So what I'm hearing is, Jason, that you have a direction. You just can't say what the direction is for Voorhess 3.
I can say it, but I kind of don't want to because the chances of us doing it is very slim. And so I don't want to just like get people's hopes up, but it is a really cool direction. And the post-credit scene at the end of Voorhess After the Beast is a big clue of what that direction is. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on YouTube.
And I put the information too, so people could go see it too. But I was at CJ back.
I will say that the idea is it's pretty groovy.
Cool. So let me ask each of you guys about your experience on there. You're working on Voorhess, and your role. Kind of expand on that. Just tell us what you guys about your experience on it, and your thoughts on the direction of the franchise.
Who wants to start?
Okay.
Okay.
Go.
I thought that it was a great set to be on because, first of all, we've got Jason here that is very open to ideas and that kind of thing, and from the cast to the crew, there are so many creative minds in this. Everybody did such an amazing job, even like with their character and beyond. So it was like all of these creative minds coming together, and everything just really worked really well. That's why I couldn't see anything that all these people worked on that wouldn't do well, just because there are so many creative minds that could, give into this. And it was just so easy to, give your input and, be open about it. So, and it was received well. So nothing was really like, no, you can't do that, or you can't do this. This is how we're going to do it. Nobody was like that at all.
Right.
Well, that's one of the most amazing things about the film industry so far is like everybody's just like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'll do that. Like it's so few and far between I've seen anybody. Yeah, okay, everyone gets tired of sitting around for 12 hours sometimes. That's life, that's human nature. But like for the most part, everyone's just like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, I'll try that. Sure, yeah, you can pretend to strangle me, whatever. I mean, it's a horror movie thing like set, so I just know the type of things that can come up. So it's a good time.
Yeah, and anybody that wasn't even in the scene, that wasn't filming, wanted to be on set, behind the scenes, helping, assisting in any way possible, because everybody was so excited about this project. Every single person that was there.
So another thing I noticed too about a big community like your guys' community. We have one here in Florida. Well, in Florida, not in Florida. But,
don't you claim my community? Community appropriate.
We have a group of people who do a lot of movies together, and I think that one of the things that I enjoy, be able to meet these different people is that how much of it's almost like working with a family. When you get together and you do so many get to do other projects together, because you guys have done both. You guys have done both Voorhess and Masquerade, and you guys are doing some other projects. So what's it like? What's it like to be able to go on a set and just seeing people that and you're familiar with? Does that make it a lot easier to film, or what's that like?
Yeah, it's exactly like what you said. You become a family, and it's every time every time you get back together with these people, it's like a big family reunion.
Right.
You grow with these people, you trust these people, and every time is a little easier. You're more and more confident.
Right.
They believe in you, you believe in them, and it's really a pretty magical creative community.
It's made all the sets laid back and just I mean we're just so relaxed around each other, and we know pretty much what each other's going to do and how we're going to react to things and stuff like that. And when you're on set for anywhere between 10 and 15 days at a time, right. Tempers can flare and stuff, but it doesn't happen on our sets. I mean, it's just everything is just so laid back, and we just do things the way they need to be done. Charlie, I can't say enough about him as far as setting up shots and stuff. He gets shots set up so quickly and stuff that there's not a lot of time to waste and stuff like that. He's got an eye that a lot of people don't have in this business, and it's just it makes for things a whole lot better. CJ, he's a wholly different story. It's just it's tough on him, but I love it, man. So I can say whatever I want to about it. But yeah, it's just a great laid back kind of situation when we're on set, and we are a family. I mean, we definitely are a family. We love each other like brothers and sisters. I mean, it's just the way it should be.
And you can see that everybody is very respectful of the other one. So everybody respects the other person's craft and creativity. So that makes it special. And I feel like that's where kind of the movie magic, really just comes into play.
Right. And the thing is too, is that, in a community like that, you support each other, even if you're not in a film, somebody else gets the role that that maybe a role that you wanted, you still, I see that the group is still like supportive of that. You know what I mean? In the different communities that I've seen, where you have this group of actors that commonly works together, which is really cool to see, because in kind of why one of the reasons I wanted to bring you guys on is because I want you guys to be able to not only share your guys, but be able to interact with other communities as well, so we can expand this. Where your group can meet, the group in Florida. The Florida group can meet people in LA.
He's getting his master plan right now. He's just trying to be the head of all the film community. Like, he's admitting it right
The Godfather.
here live. Like, Godfather. Parks, you gotta disguise the pitch different. Keep that part between me and you off air.
It's good, because I want you guys to meet people, be able to expand and network and work, and watch this thing grow, because we've seen these little communities, how this plays out in this little communities. I want to see this expand and even, get even bigger, where, Jason, you could be, doing films all over the United States, instead of just in Little Rock, and then, and then you have a bigger support group coming from other places too. And where they can, other people are supportive of your guys' projects, and you're supportive of other people's projects, and just see it expand. To me, I just love seeing that. I love seeing these communities come together, and how people support one another and what they're doing. So, hold on one second. Lost CJ again.
Yeah, he's having connection issues because it's storming where he's at.
When CJ comes back, everyone clap.
Yeah.
Hey, I do really like what you were touching on though with the communities because being that my film family is in Arkansas,
Right.
it was really scary to leave. But I did feel like it was time for me in my career to move to a market that's different and a little bit bigger. But when you're moving from a place that is so incredible, when when you're
Back.
moving from a place that's so comfortable and that you can stay consistently working in, there's a fear there for sure. There's a fear that
Right.
you're not going to work again or that just won't be as busy. So really moving opened up my eyes to the rest of the world. I mean, I've been working since I moved here, so it's just so
Right.
crazy that there really are so many incredible film communities everywhere,
Right.
and it's just that easy to be a part of all of them.
And
Yeah,
it's
and-
amazing the way that aspect has exploded. Obviously, social media has made that largely
Right.
possible. And just, I don't know, after 2020, there's just a boom of people who are just like, I'm going for what I love, which
Right.
has definitely
I love
increased,
that.
like the volume of all the projects and the growth of these communities. Because, I mean, I don't know, I've only lived in Florida, Tampa area a couple years. I'm from somewhere where this wasn't really a thing seemingly. I don't know if that was just like a timing thing and it just didn't boom yet, but it's just like amazing, like South Carolina, like there's just so many places these little communities exist all over all of a sudden. Like it's just crazy. Was it always like this? Social media just furthered it? I don't know, like it's just wild.
Or were we like meant to find it when we did?
Yeah.
That's kind
Oh no.
No, that is. Oh, there she is.
It's my husband keeps calling me and I have no idea why because he knows I'm in here. Do y'all want to hear me yell at him?
So, one of the things too, you're talking about that is I have a lot of respect for independent filmmakers, because, especially after the pandemic, seeing all these filmmakers come out and putting out these awesome projects. One of the problems I have with Hollywood right now is that Hollywood just keeps putting out the same stuff. All they do is regurgitate the same thing over and over. And I feel like that Hollywood needs something like this to put a shot in their arm to get them to realize people are tired of seeing the same things, So having the independent filmmaker, people like Jason Pitts coming in and Bobby Washington and, having these guys come in with their vision, I think it brings in a whole fresh new ideal of movies and, more of original thoughts, which is amazing because I wish that you guys had, the budget that the big guys have, but you guys are making it work. You guys are making it work with what you guys have. And then watching, all these people just coming out of the, I want to say coming out of the woodwork, but you see all these amazing people, to Pro's point, after the pandemic, people started, just going for, their dreams and trying to fulfill their, their purpose. So seeing people like, James and Olivia, all you guys coming in and just going for it, and the talent that you guys bring is just awesome. So,
Okay, speaking to that, every single person on this panel right now, like we've all had to struggle with that balance of what society classifies as real life work and how to support your family and be financially stable, and then being a creative artist, because they do not like go hand in hand. They're not aligned at all. So we have all fought to be like in this interview right here, which it may seem like just an interview because we're just on YouTube Live, but like the fact that we set aside time right now so that we can push ourselves a little bit further down the road is such a big deal for all of us, because it took so long for each one of us to get here in our journey. So, I mean, it really is like everything that we're doing now is just such a fight, because it's just not something that pays well. It's not something that like is respected. It's not something that like you could just like wake up one day and make millions like A-listers are. And even A-listers aren't really booked regularly. So, I mean, we could talk about this for hours, just this topic alone.
Well, that's why everybody in here is my company. My website's Professional Slackers, a professional slacker, because it's about how much you guys work for free for people to be like, oh, go get a real job. Like that mindset of like, you guys, man, you might spend 12 hours not making $1 7 days a week for someone to tell you to go get a real job. So like, man, you're working for free. Professional soccer, man, doesn't get more real than that. I mean, people just have no idea what goes in. And that's 12 hours on set. That's not editing, that's not writing, that's not getting wardrobe things ready, that's not preparing a call sheet, that's not making sure half your knuckleheaded cast, who maybe it's going to be their first time on a film set, has any idea what to do, what to expect, what to bring. I mean, I've only been on 10 or 15 film sets. So these are things I've only seen, a few times, just like a PA. Like it's a lot of people like writing a script.
It is
1%.
And a lot of people don't understand just how much it is. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot.
I try to explain it, and this is like a very dummied down way. It's like, think about if you've ever moved. Every single time a person moves, there's something they overlooked, something they forgot. Just times that times a million. You're talking about, if you're moving, maybe you have kids, you're thinking about 3 to 4 people plus yourself, whatever. If you're doing a movie, you're talking about maybe 30, 50 people you have to be accountable for and make sure. That's a lot.
Right.
Well, and this stuff doesn't happen overnight. That's why you have to have so many people involved. And what you were talking about, I wanted to speak to that about the Hollywood and just regurgitating everything. That's what I loved about, Jason writing this, the Voorhess, Night of the Beast and all that. It was something different. It's something creative, and that's really what people are looking for is creativity. And sometimes it just takes that project that people just want to see. I mean, because obviously you can see from the amount of people that have watched Voorhess Night of the Beast that they're looking for new content. They're looking for something fresh. And when you've got somebody that can write, and then you've got a community of people that can put their heads into it, and then it catches on when this person talks about it to somebody else, you get interested in it. There are so many outlets on TV now that, I mean, you could find anything, but it's what is relevant, and going on today, and like you said, it's a struggle. Everybody can relate to that. Everybody can relate to working hard and, nothing really coming easy to you. And like what Olivia was talking about, this stuff it doesn't happen overnight. You can't give up. You can't quit. If there's something you really want, you're going to obtain it. You can't give up on it.
Right.
Well, and I think one thing that's wonderful for you guys, especially in like more of an indie market, is I think we live in one of the greatest entertainment marketplaces of all time. I mean, like it's movies almost kind of, to me, follow like the music model where you got like your one album every couple of years, whatever, and then things change with the internet, and now you can it's almost oversaturated to an extent, for sure, and we know that. But I mean, 10 years ago, if you asked 20 people what their favorite TV show is, if you based it on genre, most of them probably would have given you the same answer. Right now, save for like the few really big ones, that's going to be a really, really diverse answer. Some people are going to be like, oh, it's this show on Tubi. Some people are going to be like some show on Plex or whatever. And I mean, that's a wonderful thing. Yeah, right. That's a really wonderful thing. I mean, that shows that there's parity and things are a little bit more fair than they've ever been, even if like the money and things aren't there. And obviously you guys know to be a millionaire would be cool, but you're happy to be able to create in ways you never would have been able to 20 years ago.
Right. And to your point too, Pro, the other thing that I think is incredible is, when you talk about people saying, go get a real job, I don't understand people who say that, because one, what you guys do is a real
I have one. Real jobs suck, so I don't know why they're telling you to do that. It's terrible.
Real job equals boring job.
Horrible advice. So, but the thing is that what I enjoy is that is more people are actually looking at following their passion and their purpose, and it may not be an 8 to 5, your normal 8 to 5, job, but you guys are actually getting out there. You guys have a passion and a purpose, to do film, and you're out there doing it. And how are you guys? Everybody's got to start somewhere. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and that's what you guys are doing. You guys are doing it where you're at, and the more that it expands, and the more that you guys keep putting out there, somebody's eventually going to pick it up, and then then it grows. But it can't grow if you guys don't take the time and go after your passion. So for me, that's what I really enjoy about watching you guys. Is you guys are so talented. There's so many talented people in there, and just watching you guys, you guys are. It's encouraging and inspiring for me to see that you guys are actually going for it, even if you're not getting paid for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you take when we're kids with sports and extracurricular activities, it's almost like assumed that you do things like that. Most people after college, you go to work for 8 hours, you go home, you sit on your butt, you go to sleep, you go to work for 8 hours. Right. There's not a lot of things where people are going and doing for free at this right. age. I mean, that just speaks to.
But those are people that don't know what they want to do with their lives, so they settle. They say,
up.
Very true.
Or they've got a family to support, and they're like, well, I've got to do this. I have to. I can't do what I love doing. I mean, look at Jason and his schedule. Sometimes I'm like, are you kidding me? When does this man sleep? And that's just one example. I know everybody on here, is hustling, but that's what you've got to do, and I think gone are the days from like my parents when they worked at the same job for 30, 40 years, right. And we have really, really gotten away from that concept because, even if you are in corporate America, the more you move to other businesses, the more you can ask for more money, so, right. It's just, it's different.
Right. Well, and to that point too, you could work at 8 to 5 job, and pay the bills, and
they're getting you for an hour, man. That's the second time you said 8 to 5. They're getting you for an hour every day. It's supposed to be 9 to 5. So just
9 to 5. Well, that's true.
Don't let them take that hour.
But what's the point? What's the point of doing that when all you're doing is you're going to that job? It's probably most likely a job you hate. You're just doing it because you're trying to pay bills. You know what I mean? And then you come home and that's it. That's your life. Then you die. Yeah.
So why not do what you love?
Right. Exactly. Go out there and and chase your passion. Chase your passion. Chase chase your purpose.
I don't want to sound like we're not anybody out there who is doing it because it's a matter of surviving. A lot of right. people are in that cycle because they just have to survive. Yeah. And it's I think it's a tragic thing, unfortunately.
Right. It really is. That's why, me personally, I'm mid-30s, no kids, and not married. So people don't understand. I mean, I have the world at my fingertips. If I don't do bigger things with my life, that's on me at this point with the parameters I have around me. There's people mid-30s would kill, and yeah, they love their kids and their wives and husbands. Things like that, but in their mind, they're like, man, the things I could do with that freedom. So I mean, that's people, and I mean, you could be 20 and you can get it on one night, and now your career plans just change for the rest of your life. So I mean, it's things change in an instant. That's for darn sure.
Right. That's true. So and the other thing is too is, and you're right, Jason. And it's not a knock on people who's doing the whole 9 to 5. That's not a knock because you got to take care of your family. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for me, it's watching you guys sacrifice because I'm sure that you guys have 9 to 5s too. If this isn't what you're doing right now isn't paying all the bills, you still got 9 to 5s, but you're still chasing your passion as well and on top of it. and making that sacrifice. And I think that if more people would do that, I think that people would be happier. There's a balance. You got to find that.
I have a story. My story kind of goes along with what we're talking about. I knew very young that I wanted to be in film.
Right.
And I went to college and got my film degree, and I wrote a screenplay. A production company found it, read it, contacted me, said that they wanted to produce it. I'm like, awesome, this is amazing. I'm 21 at that point. And they made it. They flew me out to Los Angeles. I was on set, got to help make it as a production assistant. 7 months later, I'm walking into Hollywood Video or Blockbuster, and my movie with my name on it is on the shelf. So right, I'm thinking, man, this is it. I did it.
Right.
A year goes by. I didn't make a dime off of a film that I wrote that is in Hollywood Video, and that left such a bad taste in my mouth. That at this, like, now we're starting to have kids, and I'm like, I got to support my family, and I can't do it if I'm not making money on a film that I wrote that was in Blockbuster. And so that left me very jaded for a long time. And 15 years go by, and my son graduates high school in 2020. I don't know if COVID had something to do with me making my decision.
Right.
Like you were talking about how the pandemic just really fired a lot of people up to go after their passions and stuff like that. Right. I don't know if it had something to do with me. I feel like it was my son graduating high school. And I was just like, you know what? I love filmmaking, and I'm going to give it everything I got, like, one more time.
Right.
And
and
you're absolutely right. Like, since I made that decision, I was happy before, right? Because I have a family and I love my family.
Right.
I am like, I have so much energy now.
Right.
I am like so fulfilled. Like the difference between happy, you can be happy and not fulfilled, because I've experienced that, right? And now I'm both. So.
And look at all those freaking awards around behind your head.
I can see the wall of plaques behind you.
Right. Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, Jason, is by you making that decision, look, the whole room full of people that affected.
I think about that every day, and it's a lot bigger than these people here too.
Right.
Well, and one of the things I thought about, and you're saying that, is realistically, if you tried to pursue that career with that much pressure on you creatively, who knows? And I mean, you did, you wrote something successful, and the only downfall was the financial part of it. But like with all those other pressures, you may not have been as successful creatively. It may have altered what you tried to do. You may have been like, all right, I need to make some money, so I'm going to try to write something about this, and it might have skewed that anyway. So, now you can do it with a lighter heart and a lighter head, and do it for more joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, like everybody talks about balance and stuff, and that's something that that never goes away. Like you hear George Lucas, he has the exact same problems with Star Wars, like the exact same problems. Like doesn't make any money off of it, doesn't get to make creative decisions with it, has to watch everybody run it into the ground, and that's like one of the best ever. You see so many people and they make like X amount of money, and this film has this budget, but how many movies do they make a year? How many movies do they make every few years? 100 grand, $1 million, like that doesn't last for a whole family. And like movies that you're making from here on out that you're financing for the next few years, like that runs out quick. You live the life that you get paid to, and it's just it's the same everywhere. And so that's why I look at all these guys with the equal amount of respect. Like at the end of the day, we're all just human beings, and we're all just making art that we love. And it's either you either relate and empathize with it, which I think we all do with these movies. They're just such great like escapes, yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought, but agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know, and
Agreed.
it opens up doors too. It opens up
Yeah,
doors.
it absolutely does. I've got booked, you know, everything I've gotten booked because of, you know, Voorhees and all those other movies. And, you know, like one door opens, it just leads to another.
Right. And like James, you were in an episode of Stranger Things, I saw.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
that was amazing being on a set like that. You know, being on a Netflix show and stuff like that. It was great to see and take it all in and stuff like that. So yeah, it was amazing.
So, and that's what I love about it is that it's you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and then you guys, once you keep
Start a Stranger Things.
pursuing, you keep pursuing it. It just opens up doors to more opportunities. And so
And I can speak to James. He is a hustler. He is a full-time actor. He has given up so much to pursue the craft that he loves. And he's always like listening out and looking for the opportunity. If you don't mind me sharing, he was in the post office not too long ago. And because he is attuned and like looking for that opportunity, he overheard some people talking about making a movie, and he just walked over there and said, "Hey guys, like y'all making a movie?" And so now he is, hooked up with some producers and executive directors and stuff in Nashville just because he was looking for the opportunity, heard it, and walked up and said, "Hey, I'm an actor. I would love to talk with you guys further," and ended up the next week working with Eric Roberts. And yeah,
I've told that story, and a lot of people know that. It is something. I mean, you don't meet a stranger when you got the mentality that we do as an actor. You don't really meet a stranger. You can't, because if you have that kind of mentality about you, you're going to miss out on some opportunities. You gotta be aware of your situations and your surroundings at all time, and you never know who you're going to meet where you're at. So when you go to places and there are people potentially that could, I mean, it only takes one, guys. I mean, really and truly, it takes one time to be noticed by the right person, and you're in there. So, when I heard that guy tell a man that he made movies, yeah, I inserted myself into the conversation. I mean, it's just what I did. And it worked out for me. I got a pretty good role in a movie with Eric Roberts, and now I've done signed on 2 more contracts with the same production company, with some major people in it, Eric Roberts being one of them as well. And I got the lead in two more movies now. So it's worked out for me, but you never know. And these movies are fully funded. They've got distribution and everything. So you just never know who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them. And that's the thing. This was at a post office. And so
completely agree with that. I've been trying to stress to other starting out actors and stuff like that is like, if you are choosing to be in this industry, Olivia, Will, Charlie, Kelly, Jason, CJ, James, that's Walmart. You got it. Like it's Walmart. You're a business. Everything you do, and yeah, that sucks. But like everything you do, if you're in public, you could be in front of someone who could greatly impact you positively or negatively, especially right now with like cell phones and things like that. You never know what's going to come to bite you in the butt now. And
we are our biggest promoters. We have to promote ourselves in this business. We can't rely on someone else to put us out there. You got to have a little bit of, I don't know what you call it. You got to be able to put yourself out there. I mean, you do. And yes, it might look conceited a little bit. That's not what it's about. It's about
you have to let go of the ego. You really do.
You got to let go of the ego, and you got to be able to put yourself out there to people. That's the only way you're going to make it in this business. To know people know who you are. That's just the way they are. I mean, it's just yes, I mean this mask right here, this thing right here has elevated my career. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. Jason will tell you, I mean, it's elevated my career, and I've taken that and I've run with it. But why wouldn't I? Anybody would do that. And if you don't do that, then this is not the job that you need to be in. You need to go back to whatever you need to do that makes you happy. This is what makes me happy, is being in front of the camera and to bringing people a little bit of joy. And and I use this platform on different things now. I want to bring it up. I talk to schools about bullying, anti-bullying. And I use this mask to do it. And people always say, how do you use Jason Voorhess to talk to kids? Well, let me tell you, when you walk into a classroom and you walk out on stage and I'm in a tux or in a suit and I'm looking like a principal or I'm looking like another teacher, kids don't listen to you. Kids ain't gonna listen to you. You walk out there in a very tight shirt and this mask on right here, the whole place shuts up. So I've got everybody's attention at one time, and then you go into what you need to talk about and making choices and making the right decisions at a young age, because this is where it all counts. You pick your friends now, the ones that you're going to go into high school with and to go into life with. You pick the wrong crowd, you could end up, well, in the wrong side of the tracks. So that's what I wanted. That's the reason I've got 5 schools right now this year at the end of May that I get to go and talk to elementary school kids. I'm sorry, middle school kids and high school kids. I got 3 high schools, 2 middle schools, and I think I've got 1 college booked right now that I can get to go talk to these kids about making the right choices right now before you get out in the real world, because the real world is a very, very terrible place to be without the knowledge and the self-esteem, that you got. I don't even care about education. You got to have self-esteem about yourself to make sure that you make it in this world. Education is going to come. Anybody can learn from a book. It's about the girls having self-esteem about themselves, not worrying about being fat, not worrying about being ugly, not worrying about having the right hair color or whatever else. The guys, worrying about doing the right thing to make someone happy. It's not about that. You got to make yourself happy. You can't make anybody happy if you're not happy. So that's what I want to talk about. So
this is something like, not everyone agrees with this, but like, we were taught kind of to an extent, like you were never supposed to think you were like just as good as the next person. You were supposed to always think like you were the best and strive for the best. And that's perfectly okay. You're just not supposed to treat the other person like shit because you think you're the best. Like that's where the issue is. Like we don't have to think we're all the same, but like, be nice to me just because you think you're a better actor. Like we're still friends. Like we can still be cool. Like, and it's okay to strive. It's okay to look at people and in almost like in a competitive way when there's the right nature behind it, the right reasoning behind it, because you just want to be the best. Like you just want to do well.
I believe that the key to competition and is to be in competition with yourself. Every day you compete with yourself. How do I be a better person than I was yesterday? How do I take one more step closer to my goals than I did yesterday? If you have the mindset of being in competition with anyone else other than yourself, it is a long, lonely road.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that's a really, really good point, Jason. I don't think. I know I don't do that on a consistent basis. Not as much as I should. I don't think a lot of the world does, and I think a lot of people were like, challenged themselves the other day and looked at it that way instead of, absolutely. I think that's a great point.
So one of the things I always say too is to remind people is you're uniquely designed with a purpose. So every one of you guys have. And to your point, James, nobody can fulfill what you're here on Earth to do, and that's what you should focus on. Is focus on what you're here to do, and fulfill that. to me, I don't worry about what other people do. I don't look at people as competition. I look at everybody's is equal, and like I had Crossline Production. I brought Pro on to do this show because I saw value in what he does. We're both podcasters from two different areas. And
it's because I was in with the Florida film community. It's all just part of his bigger plan. He knows what he's doing. It's calculated. Don't let him fool you. The guy's a networking genius. He's networking Rain Man over there. He's probably friends with freaking Gandhi for all we know. I know Gandhi's dead, but if he was here, Parks he'd have him on his show next week. Wouldn't put it past him.
So but like Pro brings a lot to the show. That and he adds a lot of value, which is why I asked him, to do a show. And so I don't see people as competition. I think if people would learn to work together and pull resources together, we could just accomplish so much. So to your point, James, and I commend you for using the platform to go out there and talk to the kids, and sharing that message with the kids. And that's the other thing too, with each and every one of what you guys are doing.
Jason Voorhees walks into my lunchroom, I'm shitting my pants in middle school. Like I was definitely one of those kids who saw Jason Friday the 13th on TV when I shouldn't have when I was younger. So I had that fear of those horror movies. I was probably 5 or 6 years old when those movies were out. So if in middle school, if you walked into, I would have been what the forget scared straight, bringing a kid to jail. You put Jason Voorhees in my lunchroom, that's gonna resonate. Yeah, that's gonna land with me for sure.
That's right.
You guys, I hate to interrupt, but I've got to run. Thank you so much for having me. Continue to have a wonderful conversation. I love you guys. Good to see you. All right, bye, guys.
See you, bye.
Have a good night.
I don't know how to get out of here.
You're stuck.
Unplug.
All right, now that he's gone, we can have the real talk. No, let's talk about simulation. No, I'm just kidding.
So let me ask you guys real quick before we go. What's the future plans? Do you guys have a? I know that you guys are working, or some of you guys are working on a new fan film. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that, or if you can.
We can talk about it.
Go
ahead, Will.
We've been working on our newest Batman fan film, and we just finished our reshoots, and hopefully it is gonna come out here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So cool. I'm just getting this editing crunch done and out of the way, and hopefully we're able to release one more trailer before it drops. But the target release date is around March 20th, or something like that. We'll see. Whenever it's done is when it's coming. But yeah, it's looking really good, and we're all involved in some way or another. And I'm excited to show everybody to what extent and what's in the future with that. But yeah, that's what's next, and it'll be an hour long, and it'll scratch the Lucid Lake and Will movie itch.
Cool. I'm really
now I want to know who your Batman is.
Oh, Mason Skiles. So you don't know him, but you will.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look him up anyway.
It looks great. It's awesome Batman.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one too. It looks like it's going to be really good. So I'll have to bring you guys all back for the Batman one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I'm looking forward to
that. Oh yeah.
Well, and I don't know. So horror fan films, that's been a really popular thing for a good amount of time now. I don't know that superhero ones explicitly have been, but I think with how kind of run into the ground they are at the box office, now is the perfect time for you guys to come in and put your twists on things, because and like we kind of talked about earlier, the studios have pretty exclusive rules they have to follow, especially when you're talking about these properties like Batman and Iron Man, and they're not taking a lot of chances with you messing that up.
And that's kind of the goal for sure.
Right, exactly. So I mean, now is like the perfect time for you guys really to put like your organic spin on these things. And I think like, and now, for example, Iron Man's gone, so you put out an Iron Man fan film, for example. Oh my God, people are gonna love you. You'll be their hero.
I mean, there's so much confusion right now with DC and with superhero movies in general. I'm not even a fan of Marvel's movies at this point right now, and I think that DC's biggest issue is that they have no real continuity or, real like source material trust. And so this is actually going to be our third Batman movie just because, I just want to keep it expanding and trying to get my vision right on it. But it mostly just comes from like a creative frustration of seeing everybody else, get the limelight in a good way. And while there's a lot of great Batman movies, I promise you in a debate, there are no comic accurate Batman movies. There is not one. They're all Elseworld stories. And I just wanted to kind of, give a lot of the comic fans what they deserve. And they will have that. They will have that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. We all are. Yeah. It's the only compliment I'll give myself for this movie is I've nailed the casting in a lot of ways. And you'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see the film. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be great. So yeah.
And as far as fan films for superhero movies go, there is a market for it. I didn't realize how big the fan film market for horror was until I did Voorhess, and then I realized, with superhero fan films, you get like maybe sometimes a few 100,000 or 1 million views, and for horror fan films, it's typically like 1 million to a few million. And I think that's because something else I want to point out is they rebooted or they've continued the Friday the 13th franchise, I think, weeks after we released Voorhees Night of the Beast, and there's been like, if I'm right, I think like a 10-year hiatus on that movie being made. And so I absolutely feel that, James is this generation's Jason, and that that movie kind of sparked a new era in or not specifically that movie, not to give ourselves that much credit, but like, the whole idea behind it and to show that Jason's still very much alive, and so are fan films and horror films. And I'm taking all of that momentum from this team and everything and putting it into Batman and then into the movies that we have coming out after that. But Batman will have horror elements too. So it won't just be like, it's not going to just be a campy, funny Batman movie. There will be a lot of suspense there, I think.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see it. So,
Charlie has a feature coming up too.
Charlie,
right?
When's the Sawyer Massacre out?
It's out, man.
So is this a new movie?
Yeah, Sawyer's been out since October.
Well, what? Okay.
Somebody
send that to me. I saw somebody with a Blu-ray of it the other day and thought it was still in editing. So I'm okay.
It's been out since.
Hey guys, before y'all go, I need to go. So I just wanted to let y'all. I appreciate it. Cross, thank you for having me on. Everybody, CJ, love you, brother.
See you, man.
Jason, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Sean, Charlie, Olivia, Will. Thank y'all so much, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Okay, Cross, if you ever need me, come just holler at me. Okay.
All right, cool. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man. All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, cool. And just to wrap up, I was going to just ask you guys what you guys are currently working on individually, and then after that, we can just wrap up.
Okay. I'll let Charlie go first.
Okay.
Right now, I am in pre-production for a feature that we're going to be shooting at the beginning of May. It's a paranormal drama that we're going to be shooting up in North Arkansas. Okay. And I'm excited because we have several people that were, in the stream tonight attached to it. CJ, CJ, you're over here. CJ's on it. I'm going to be sending him a new script, hopefully tomorrow, for the most updated one. I'd like to get Will involved somehow, and Jason is going to be on set for a few days. He's also helping me kind of co-produce the entire project, so that's great working with him in a new role. And after that, I've got a couple other projects that I have down the road that are coming up this summer, and maybe a couple in the fall. So,
Okay.
I have Charlie's film. In 2 weeks, I'm assistant director on a supernatural drama.
Yeah.
And then I'm executive producer on another short film called Voorhess is attached to. And I'm really excited about that one. And Charlie's as well. I'm excited about taking on a different role, executive producer or producer on both of these films.
Right.
Something that I haven't really kind of done yet, other than my films.
Right.
I do have experience doing it, but I am excited about doing that for another creative, director, writer, and Charlie and the other director are both amazing talent. So I'm excited about helping both of them. And then either late this year or next year is going to be my next film, and it's going to be my first original feature film. Really excited about that. It's the next step in my career and my evolution. So it's a horror. It's called The Forest Through the Trees, and it's a demonic cult movie. So yeah.
We need more cult movies, honestly. I legitimately mean that. Cults are creepy as shit.
I love it. I just got booked for a supporting role in Atlanta. It's a Lifetime film. So I'll hear more about scheduling for filming then. It should be around next week. And I just had 2 really big auditions, like the biggest in my career so far. So fingers are crossed, but either way, I'm definitely feeling that progression. And then I'll have a theatrical release coming out in the next few months. It's called Grace by Night. And that's one that I filmed in March. So a lot of amazing things happening that I'm really excited about. And then we just got done filming Batman. I was able to fly back to Arkansas and do a role for Will's film.
Season 3 of Vindication out yet?
Oh yeah, season 3 for Vindication will be out soon, here in the next few months, and that was a really fun role. Vindication is the #1 show on PureFlix right now, so I came as a recurring character for season 3, and I am so excited to see what they've done with that. So a lot of really good things are coming.
Yes.
Awesome.
And her in Batman is selfishly my favorite performance of hers. Like
I
she's
felt like okay, so the role that I play in Batman is one that
we've already
realize.
Announced who you are.
Okay,
so you
yeah,
can just talk about it,
no, she Talia, I don't know. Everyone pronounces it differently. Yeah.
You will find your pronunciation.
Yeah, we will. And let me just tell you, that is the perfect combination of everything that I want in a character. And I had no idea when I accepted the role. It gives me like this mysterious, like cunning assassin vibe while still being like a strong female, just badass. Like there are so many things that I love about her, and I just feel like the universe has aligned it to where I'm getting to experience her at such a vulnerable place in DCU. So I'm legit going to pitch myself, because I love Sylvia, but I've never felt more at one with a character immediately. So I'm genuinely so incredibly excited about it.
I would hope you wouldn't feel very at one with Sylvia personally.
I mean, there were parts of that performance that I did feel pretty good. And
all right, watch Olivia. Don't be a killer.
No.
So,
I don't know.
No.
So what about you, CJ? You got anything coming up?
Your audio's out, King.
Yeah, his mic's not working.
Just take those earbuds out.
CJ had a rough go. We were gonna have to get him back on.
He is doing he is doing a 24-hour film festival that he won a few awards in, and then he has also got some more stuff coming up with Charlie, and he plays Lucius Fox in Batman: Heart of Ice, as well as don't spoil that. And that's all that I know from CJ right now.
Oh, I put Mr. Freeze in Batman.
Yes, I was waiting on you to say that at any point.
Well,
but your mic's on.
Yeah.
So
we should have told them. You should have been unrecognizable. They should have been like, Jason, I didn't know.
Who's that guy?
Was your Mr. Freeze in like the same light as Arnold's Mr. Freeze, or did you do an original take?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I'll say that I think that we may have pulled off the best live action Mr. Freeze so far.
There is no May. We have. Yes. Yes, we have. And it'll be the best live action Mr. Freeze until further notice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Until they get the bowl like we got it. No way. So yeah, good luck on that. Bowl's never been done till now. Won't never be done again.
Cool. So before we go, I'm going to have you guys each tell the audience how they could get a hold of you or follow you on your social medias.
Okay.
Olivia exits chat.
I know. I was
like, for me, you can just search me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I don't know all the handles. You can just search me. You'll find me. I do have a YouTube channel as well. So
cool.
I'm on Instagram as Loud Living and Facebook as Will Reed, and you can look me up on IMDb as Will Reed, and and our YouTube channel is DW Productions. Yep.
Cool.
Olivia Disney Actress on
I'm
Facebook. Yep. Go, Charlie.
Fight for it.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm on all of them. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is Charlie JJ Brady. So pretty easy to find.
Cool.
What's CJ's? Do we know CJ's?
I think it's just CJ Bernard.
Yeah.
CJ Bernard. Look him up.
I guess I should write all the handles down and keep them near my desk here somewhere.
What we'll do is if you guys we'll put them on
CJ Bernard on Instagram, CJ Bernard on Facebook. CJ
Okay,
Bernard
thank you
on
so much for
IMDb.
having me. Love seeing you guys and talking to y'all.
See you guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. All right, I guess we're done.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being on the show. And I want to thank all of our all the fans that our community that showed up and supported us on our live stream. So remember, guys, until next time, you uniquely design with a purpose and always keep moving forward. Peace. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.